So I checked back in with the Titans, and things really haven't gotten any better. It was all very, very stupid, and moments of where you could see what it could have been, and I still pretty much, and I think it's a foregone conclusion that they should have just done a Nightwing series and kept it street level stuff. If they, for whatever reason, just can't bring themselves to do a Batman series. So that would have been the better outcome, because the actor playing Dick Grayson's good. He just doesn't have any material for him. They did a whole thing where he breaks Jonathan Crane out of prison as Dick Grayson and nothing. And it's just, come on, everybody knows he's Nightwing, right? Come on. And then, you get the fight between Nightwing and Red Hood, but it's pretty lackluster. It's just a bunch of stupid stuff. And then ripping off more or less the plot from Batman Begins with, the water system in Gotham is poisoned with, Jonathan Crane's anti-fear drug that makes everybody turn into crazy people. Like it did Jason Todd, yeah. So, jump ahead to episode 9. They finally decide, what happened to Raven? So, of course, she ran off to Themyscira with the Amazons after Donna supposedly... Well, she did die. We get that. And she's trying to use her magic to resurrect her. And the Amazon says there may be a pathway for her to come back and all this. The depiction of Themyscira, of course, it's on the cheap and it's rather vague here and there. But it lends itself more to this advanced society that advanced since, the ancient Greek times of when the Amazons were supposed to have been spirited away to the island by Zeus and all that. And as I recall it, for them quite a bit within the comic books, is that they did have this advanced technology and stuff like that. And interestingly enough, they had the purple ray or whatever that could heal people and stuff. They could have introduced that, and they would have brought Donna back from the dead. But whatever. So then we get an interesting episode in the Land of the Dead. So Tim Drake got shot in the back by Crane in the previous episode, and he died. So now he's in the Netherworld, and where he meets Donna, and they run away. He wants to get back to the living world, and Donna's telling him he can't, but they run away anyway into the woods and get chased by some soul-sapping demons or what have you. And then they run into Hank, Hawk, who has a car and everything. So he takes them to this, bar he knows. World's the Dead. And somehow he knows more about the realm of the dead, or has learned more, even though Donna should have been the one to know, because she was there much longer. So I don't know why he wasn't. See, Tim Drake wakes up on this train, and that's the train hauling the souls off to their final destination. And it seems like it would have made more sense if Hank had been there with Tim, and then they find Donna, and kind of like that. But whatever, that's what they did. And so Hank, he's figured out that if you concentrate really hard, you can make things appear at will. So he conjures up some guns and starts shooting the demons and stuff. So I guess that's how the car happens. And he says there's some legend about a secret doorway back to the world of the living. They got to find it. So of course they do, and all that. And you got to have a sacrifice. So of course it's Hank. He can't go, and he stays. And then he finds his dead brother. So all this time he never found his dead brother. And they say, "Hey man, yeah," and that's his happy ending, I guess. So Donna and Tim revive. So Tim, he's in the ICU in Gotham. He wakes up from his gunshot wound, and they just say, "Oh, it's a miracle he survived." And then Donna, I guess she just appears somewhere. And then one of the Amazon ladies is really old, so I guess she got to the island when she was already old. I don't know. But anyway, and then she has to teach Donna a lesson for, the way of the Jedi or whatever. So Donna passes, and is heading into Gotham to help the situation. So the situation is that Gotham, wherever you heard this before, is sealed off from the rest of the country. Again. Oh my God, it is borrowing plots from other people and stuff, from the Batman Begins and then Gotham and all that. Whatever. And it's all very stupid. So then Professor Crane gets on, sends out a message to Gotham that it's all Nightwing's doing, so they immediately believe him. And so they have some skirmishes with the Titans and stuff. It's so stupid. Jason's still an asshole and stupid and crazy, but more stupid than crazy. And Jonathan Crane continues to collapse in his madness. Now, at first I was saying, oh boy, he was all cool and calculated and plotting and stuff, and now he's just can't get it together. But they did establish some points to that, to where he ends up killing his mother in a previous episode, stuff like that. And that's, kind of the problem, is that he's the reason he's obsessed with fear is because he's the most frightened person in the world. And so they get into the Batcave. He takes it over with Jason and stuff, and then he's going through Batman's criminal files and wants to hear Batman's file on him, and that sets him off, as Batman says the reason Jonathan Crane hides behind the Scarecrow mask because he can't handle the dirty work himself and that sort of thing, because he's a coward, and so Crane loses it and all. It ends up slicing up his own face, and it's stupid. Speaking of Batman, Bruce Wayne settles his new last will and testament. Don't know, I guess it leaves everything to Dick or something, who knows, and then decided to commit suicide by burning down some home he had in Britain, I guess. But then Donna appears and saves him, so then she returns to Gotham, but he's nowhere to be found, so I guess he'll show up later, something. But still no Batman, really. It's just, Bruce Wayne played by a guy who would have made a better Alfred. But anyway, so Dick Grayson, the whole Blackfire and Starfire thing, which the previous season teased might have been the main plot, and it's embarrassingly bad. And Blackfire is not depicted as the villain she was in the comics, and I don't know, maybe they've rewritten her so many times since then that it's just two sisters who fight a lot, and that's it. But she was pretty much a hardcore villain. I did read for the most of it. I don't know if they even finished it. Justice League Odyssey that she was in, where she ended up being more of the heroic figure, and so maybe there's that. But anyway, she ends up stealing Starfire's powers, and Starfire, this was your plot all along, because she gets shot by the cops because they're all corrupted by Crane and whatnot and Red Hood, as the Titans had agreed to turn themselves in because everybody believed they were responsible for the poisoned water. It's that bad. And they run off together, and Starfire has the ability to heal her with her powers, but instead Blackfire just takes all the powers, and then Starfire is like, oh no, this was your plan all along, and then Blackfire said, no, was it? So was it an accident or not? We don't know. So Starfire wanders around wearing an outfit that looks like it belongs to Raven more than her, but she has to be in disguise because people will recognize her. They recognize her anyway, but whatever. And they do some stuff about, things are tough in Gotham. Everything's really expensive because the city is surrounded and put in quarantine, I guess. Like there was some message to it or something. Whatever. Then some guy who probably could have made a good Victor Zsasz threatens this woman, and Starfire gets in the way with no powers, though, seemingly. She gets shot, and that awakens all these weird dreams she's been having, which clearly they didn't know where they were going with it. And the reveal is that she was born without the Starfire powers, but her father had some witch take all the powers out of Blackfire and put it in her because she was the older sister, which is, as I recall it, I thought it was the other way around. But anyway, whatever. So Blackfire had a reason to be upset, even though she wouldn't know this either because she was an infant at the time. Yeah. But anyway, so, oh no, it was all a lie and stuff. But then after the vision's over, Starfire has powers. So I guess she did have powers after all. I don't know. Whatever. But I thought they were doing that where she lost her powers to set it up, because she hardly ever uses them in the show anyway because it's too expensive, and she just does a bunch of martial arts moves. So I figured they would just say, oh, she's just going to do martial arts stuff. Yeah. But no, she got her powers back. So I was like, oh, okay, I didn't see that coming. Raven shows up and meets up with Beast Boy, and they discover where the Lazarus Pit is. And Raven uses her smoke monster powers and stuff, and I don't know. Meanwhile, Dick decides to go have a showdown with Red Hood, and Superboy and Superdog are going to help, but he's worried about their safety because, they're invulnerable and super powerful. So he blows some kryptonite dust in their faces, and they pass out. So great going. So he heads over there and dodges bullets at one point. It's really stupid. He lures Red Hood, kind of shakes him up into a trap, and it seems to be working, and then suddenly he's out in the open with nowhere to hide, so Red Hood just starts shooting at him. And I mean, yeah, his suit is bulletproof, but still the impacts would have done something. But there's a problem with that. Later on, one of the onlookers or pedestrians or whatever grabs one of Red Hood's guns and shoots Dick in the neck because, his head's fully exposed. So he collapses. And then Red Hood goes home to Wayne Manor to find Crane, having cut this pizza man, delivery man, all into pieces with his guts bubbling and stuff. And to show his terrifying face with a few scratches. I thought he was going to, cut his face off or something like that, But no. So it might dawn on Jason Todd that Crane's crazy. And then maybe, just maybe, he'll turn on him. But at this point, even if he does, it's a little too late. Because then I thought they were going to have Hawk come back from the dead. That way, Jason's exonerated from his murdering. See, it's okay when you can come back. But I don't know. So, again, yeah, there's moments here and there. But all that does is remind you, boy, if someone knew what they were doing, they might have had something. But since they don't really, they do pretty good with Superboy when they let him do stuff. But I guess even that's considered too expensive maybe. But Starfire, with all her powers and Starfire powers and flying around and having the red streak following her, like her hair would be that long and all that stuff, they're not even trying to. I don't know. And Blackfire's costume is much better than hers. I don't know what the deal is. When they showed the designs early on, I said, well, all right, it's not really her suit, but at least they're finally giving her one instead of dressing her up like, a hoe. They finally gave her something. But God, is it bad, especially in the light, It's just... It's like a slap job suit, and I'm like, she's Starfire. They gave the other girl the better suit. What the hell is that? So I don't know what's going on over there. So yeah, they should have just forgot about Titans and done a Nightwing series. In fact, this will be the final season. Spin off a Nightwing series. You can even have Barbara Gordon in that because there's some amount of chemistry there between the two. Wonder Girl is actually good. I'm glad that she's back, but still in a terrible series. And Superboy could get his own show because that's one of their last seasons. The only really good show is actually basically a Superboy show. And with the dog and everything, it's funny, and there's your show, okay, whatever. So I don't know. So this was 9 through 11, and I guess they'll do a 12th episode and or maybe a 13th one. I don't know how many episodes they got for this season, and that'll be it. So I'll see what happens there, but not optimistic. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.